$1 bill, yo.
Welcome, disgruntled New World refugees. Here we are talking about your dead game that's dead before it even came out. This is some fantastic stuff, guys. I know a lot of you guys probably don't know about New World, but I highly recommend you go to the New World subreddit or the YouTube comments and just look at the tiers. The tiers themselves are so delicious. So from the outside looking in, this is fucking hilarious. But I'm somebody that was pretty interested in the game. Now, I didn't get access to the closed invite-only alpha, but I did see a lot of gameplay footage from my friends that did not respect the NDA whatsoever. So I've seen a lot of the game, and I was very excited for it because I'm a PvP guy, and an open world PvP MMO with Amazon money sounds very interesting to me. A lot of the Crowfall community, which is the game you're seeing right now, was very interested in this game, and now they have all refunded. So, what happened to this AAA open world PvP MMO? Well, they decided to remove the open world PvP in their open world PvP MMO. And needless to say, people are not very happy. So, RIP New World 2020 to 2020. The funniest thing about this, and the thing that people aren't even really thinking about, is that they knew, Amazon knew this was going to be the reaction they got. This decision, in my opinion, was not a gameplay design decision. This was not a decision made by the designers going, hey, we need to make this change to make the game better. I do not believe that whatsoever, because the lead designer himself came out and said that the spine of the game is PvP. That's an official quote. And if you look at the game's design, it's 100% right. The game, there's nothing there. If there's no open world PvP, there is nothing there of value or substance. People will blow through it all instantly, and like, even with the open world PvP, I was sort of questioning if that was going to be enough, or if people were going to be burned out after a few months. But without it, I mean, it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. So, in my opinion, this was 100% metrics based. This decision came from somebody up here that saw that X amount of players were getting ganked and leaving the game and uninstalling and not playing again. And they saw that there's a certain market. They ran the numbers and basically said, we have to make a dramatic change. And it just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. So there's a PvP toggle in the game. What that means is, to do any sort of open world PvP, you have to go to a town, toggle your PvP on, and then the other person that you would be PvPing against also has to have done that. And then you can fight your PvP battle consensually. So, that on paper sounds great, right? What does that mean in practice? That means in practice that no one's going to have PvP on because it's more efficient to not be flagged for PvP. Now, they say they're going to give bonuses and blah, 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 blah. The same shit that World of Warcraft... This is the exact same thing that World of Warcraft War Mode is, where you flag yourself for War Mode, and then you're open to be PvP, and you get bonuses, blah, blah. What is that in practice? Nobody uses it. Nobody does shit with War Mode in WoW because it's fucking dumb. And it's dumb. So, the game, the open world PvP is essentially dead. And it makes no sense from a game design perspective, because all of the appeal of New World, the backbone, as the developers have said in the past, really was the PvP. Going and doing that mundane harvesting activity all of a sudden isn't so mundane when you have to look over your back and have to really plan and think about where you're going and the routes you take, and, you know, should we go back and bank our stuff? Should we do this? All of a sudden, that mundane task that's not that exciting at the surface is all of a sudden very exciting. You know, how many people do you dedicate to your harvesting group? How, you know, all this meta game of the mundane doesn't exist if there's no risk. It's so dumb. And then somebody made an excellent comment, like, what's to stop me from just multi-boxing the shit out of this game now? Because in an open world PvP MMO with no open world PvP, you can just easily multi-box. And even if they, for whatever reason, had crazy bonuses for PvP, which they won't, because the game would, if they wanted to make a game like that, the game would be open world PvP. If they wanted to incentivize it, it's just not going to happen. It's going to be War Mode in World of Warcraft all over again. They would do it. So people are going to multi-box it. People are going to cheese it. and there's nothing there. There's no real content to the game without the PvP, because there's no PvE. This is not a PvE game. This is not a game with dungeons, with tight raid boss mechanics. Everything is open world. So if there is some sort of PvE challenge out there, it's going to be cheesed. And from the videos I've seen, everything is very cheesable. Crowfall has PvE mobs. They're cheesable. What is the function of the PvE mobs in Crowfall if they're kind of dumb and cheesable and they're not really the point of the game? The PvE mobs serve as a function to spark PvP. The mobs are resources. And that's what they were supposed to be in New World too, but they're not, because there's no open world PvP. It makes no sense. So the only real PvP in the game is essentially going to be the 50v50 battlegrounds. That's basically what it's going to be. And from what I've seen of that, and from what I've heard from my friends, that essentially is like a battleground. It plays like a battleground. It's very predictable, and it's not the excitement of open world PvP. You know, the best stuff, you know, when I play Crowfall, the best PvP moments, some people like the sieges where you got big fights and castles and catapults and shit like that. Some people like that. I personally don't. I like the PvP fights where it's me and my guys, we're out there doing something random, and all of a sudden you see an arrow fly by, and you hear pew pew, and it's on. Like those spontaneous PvP moments where you're out there mining rocks, and you crest the hill, and there's another group mining rocks, and you're like, oh shit, it's going down. That's the best. It's gone. It's fucking gone. So, ironically, World of Warcraft, a primarily PvE MMO, is more of a PvP game than New World, because at least in that game they have some meaningful PvP. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. So, they don't fucking care. They just don't. From what I can tell from this change and their reaction to it is they've run the numbers and they've seen the metrics and they just don't care about you. If you're watching this video and you're mad and you're one of the disgruntled people mad about this change, I hate to be, this sounds hyperbolic, but I honestly think this is the 100% pragmatic truth, is they just don't care about you. It's flat out what happened. And why do I say that? Because of the potential solutions, right? You could make a PvP server. Like, yeah, the reason why they don't want to do that, why would they not just, there's many easy solutions. People on Reddit have been typing up these solutions, like, why don't they just do this? Why don't they just do that? Why don't they do this, this? And in these relatively easy solutions to this problem. And they don't do it. They came out with this PvP blog, right? It was scheduled for an earlier release date. They delayed it, and then it came out because they wanted to make sure that this was the right decision, because they knew the backlash, right? So anyway, I'm getting off topic. The reason why they don't give a shit is because they could have very easily made changes to accommodate for the PvPers, but they realized that that's a smaller segment of the population. They want this game to have mass appeal, and they just don't fucking care about you. It's flat out what it is. Because they 180'd everything. Complete 180. There is no looting at all. The game used to be a loot-based PvP MMO, open world PvP MMO. There is no looting whatsoever. There is no PvP servers. They're not even giving you the option of like, hey, let the PvEers play on a PvE server if they want PvP. Let us still have our PvP fun. Nope. Not even worth their fucking time to bother with PvP servers. Now, they could have had a PvE MMO, but PvP zones. Nope. No PvP zones either. Go fuck yourself. They don't give a shit. No PvP zones either. There is no alternatives. Zero alternatives to have open world PvP, because they ran the numbers and they just decided it ain't worth our time. It just ain't worth our time. So, you know, I'm not oblivious to the fact that if they had PvP servers, they would have to design. The reason why they don't want to do PvP servers is because they'd have to design the game with PvP servers in mind. Again, they run the numbers, they realize, fuck them, we don't really care. So that's what's up, man. It sounds crazy to just flat out, like, because I'm normally on the developer side when it comes to this kind of stuff, but they ran the numbers and they just don't care. They just don't care at all. It makes me wonder. So Amazon bought Twitch, and they have like streaming integration into this game. They want this game to be a game that is popular on Twitch, and an open world PvP MMO is just not. It ain't gonna work. It is not gonna work for streaming. I'm a big fan of Crowfall. I love Crowfall, but they're gonna have a hard time having popular Crowfall streamers. If somebody like Soda Poppin was to play Crowfall, it would be impossible for him to get anything done. I mean, he would just get griefed into oblivion to a point where even if he had people protecting him, I mean, it would be impossible to do anything. And that would be the same thing for Amazon's New World. People would not stream the game because it would not be fun to watch people stream the game. So Crowfall, not going to be a big streaming game. There will be streamers of it, but I don't see any big streamers with that critical mass of like people to trolls. Oh man, it's gonna be rough. So I wonder if that had a big part in this change, because now the game is very easily streamable when there's no open world PvP. So just scratch off New World, man. This was a game I was excited for. You know, the AAA MMOs, they're hard to come by anymore. And it sucks to have another one just scratched off the list before it even comes out. Like, Jesus. You know, yes, I'm a fan of Crowfall. Yes, this is sort of a victory for Crowfall. Because it means that they don't have to compete with Amazon money in their open world PvP sandbox MMO game. So I guess it's a win. I'm sure they'd love it right now. I'm sure the Crowfall developers are dancing that their biggest competition of the year is just decided to just not even compete. It would be like if it's like Crowfall is Burger King and Amazon is McDonald's, and Burger King's just like and Amazon's like, yeah, we're just not gonna sell cheeseburgers anymore. Imagine if McDonald's just stopped selling cheeseburgers. Burger King, they'd love it. So it's not all bad. Okay, there is one thing about this that's nice. Okay, and that is Lumberyard. The game ran great. The Lumberyard engine seemingly is pretty darn impressive for the detail that I saw in the game and what was happening in the game, for the performance that people were getting on the machines they got. That I gotta say was pretty good. So Amazon has thrown enough piles of money at this engine to make it good. And I mean, while A New World is fucked, they are making a Lord of the Rings MMO, which is rumored to be a traditional MMO, like a la the type of MMO you would see from Star Wars: The Old Republic, World of Warcraft, Wildstar, tanks and healers and DPS, and you know, your typical theme park, big gobs of money MMO running on Lumberyard. So there's some good news. So hopefully that will translate to the Lord of the Rings MMO that comes out in 5 years. God knows how far that is out. But anyway, I'm still very excited for Crowfall. Crowfall's got a big patch coming out here in February/March. So if you are one of the New World refugees, I highly recommend you check out Crowfall. Check out some of my Crowfall PvP videos. I highly recommend that you sign up for Crowfall using the link down in the description. If you sign up with that link, you will get into the beta for free and get 5% off anything you buy. Even if you don't buy anything right now, sign up, because Crowfall will not be open beta. You will not be able to sign up for it and just get into the beta. You have to have signed up before they turn it off. You have to sign up before it starts. So if you're watching this video and you haven't signed up for Crowfall, sign up with the link down below. Just sign up so you at least get your spot in the beta, because you're not going to be able to play it for free otherwise. So do that. And support a PvP MMO that gives a fuck about you. At least Crowfall is staying true to their vision. They are intentionally appealing to the niche of PvP players that is not being appealed to. I sound like a fanboy because I kind of am, but god damn, is it the only game, it's the only MMO that I'm interested in at all. Like, if this one doesn't work out for me, man, there's just nothing I'm gonna be playing. I'm just gonna be a normie. So let's pray to the Crowfall gods that this one happens for us, and I think it's going to. I think this next patch is going to be awesome. So hope you enjoyed the video. Sign up for Crowfall. New World RIP 2020 to 2020. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.